All right, hello everyone, it's silverkyle, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Batman No Man's Land Omnibus Volume 2, which is slated to release in a few days here on September 20th, 2022. I live in Canada, so I end up getting some of the DC books a little bit earlier, and this would complete the set. Obviously, I have Volume 1 here, and there is also a Road to No Man's Land omnibus that I unfortunately don't have, that I still have to pick up at some point in time, but we would have this big story of the first two volumes and also the Road to No Man's Land as well. That would be here right before. So I just wanted to do a comparison of the first volume and the second volume. Even just the covers, I really like the look of this. First volume, I do like a little bit more. There's a little bit more detail in the art, and this is a little bit more grimy, harsher kind of look, but it still really works, and I really do like the purples. And then we're going to take a look at the spines. And the Road to No Man's Land, if I remember correctly, it does look very nice as well. I just, like I said, don't have it, but I mean, this looks really nice. Everything's just in the same order, just different colors, but everything lines up and it looks really, really, really nice. I have to say that. So we're going to take a look at the book itself. And I also want to do just a few quick comparisons to the first volume because they were printed in different places. And to me, it really shows. So we'll show that later on, but let's take a look at the volume 2. So now we'll take a closer look at the actual cover here. And the spine. Actually, let's go like that. And finally the back to see what is all contained in here. All right, so this includes the conclusion to Gotham City's Darkest Hour, collects Azrael, Agent of the Bat 58 to 61, Batman 569 to 574, Batman Legends of the Dark Knight 122 to 126, Batman Shadow of the Bat 89 to 94, the Batman Chronicles number 18, Batman No Man's Land number 0, Batman No Man's Land Secret Files number 1, Catwoman 75 to 77, Detective Comics 736 to 741, Nightwing 38 to 39, and Robin 68 to 73, and features also bonus pinups from the Batman No Man's Land Gallery number 1. It retails for, I just wasn't seeing it, $150 in the US, $195 in Canada. I ended up getting this for about like $155 in Canada for here from Indigo. It wasn't the greatest sale, but the best that I could find at the time. And when I had done a pre-order for it, look at the flaps. So just some sayings. Really digging this purple. And again, we'll take a look at the actual hardcover here. And the book itself is 1,080 pages. DC has gone up a little bit in price for some of their books that they've been releasing, and 1,080 pages, is it worth $195 in Canada, $150 in the US? I mean, hopefully you don't ever pay retail for it, but they are a little bit higher and steeper. Nope, that purple just pops like mad. I love it. Okay, and now we'll open her up and take a look. So, first things first, always good to hear. I love hearing that. And I will say that I had a harder problem with Batman No Man's Land Volume 1 because of the binding. Now, I think the one that I had from No Man's Land Volume 1 was in Quebec, was printed in Quebec. This one was printed, as you can see right here, by the Friesens Atlanta, Manitoba one here in Canada. And this just opened right up for me. So we've got the table of contents. And then we dive right into it. While I was flipping through this, we're going to show quite a bit of the art. While I was flipping through this, every so once in a while, when I'd see some of the artists' drawings for Batman, I feel like it kind of looked like Michael Keaton's Batman. And I really dig that. Every so once in a while, and I really liked it. That's a nice shot right there. I like that. That too, obviously. I don't know if I actually had any of the issues from back then. Batman's one of my favorite characters, but I didn't really collect a lot of him for some reason. I collected a lot on the Marvel side. But that Mr. Freeze, the way that he's looking really reminds me of like maybe a Mr. Freeze special that I had, like a trade paperback or something like that. I don't know if it was an annual or something. I can't remember what that was. This is late 90s. It was around the time that the Batman and Robin movie had come out. We're not even close to that. That's like a quarter of the way. 1080 pages, so something like maybe here. That's about halfway, give or take, just to kind of give you an idea of how it's opening up. Go a little bit further here. We don't want to spoil too much either, but let's go to the end. There wasn't that many extras. I guess I can move it, center it a little bit more. I'm getting near the end for the extras here. I think that's it, yeah. So that's what the ending looks like. I mean, it is staying open, and this one I barely stretched. So I think as you read it, it will work. I was trying to see if do we have any. That's a nice shot. I really like that. Could I find somewhere in here a 2-page spread? Usually when I look for them, I was seeing them as I was stretching it open. I should have just put a bookmark. That's really cool art. The paper itself, a little bit thinner for DC than I'm used to. That's not bad. It's mainly glossy, not a crazy amount of gloss, but it's mainly glossy. Once in a while, they do have that grainy feeling where it does feel like there's a little bit of sand. Not as much as X-Men books. That's the ones that I generally feel them the most. It doesn't feel that grainy or sandy, but it's not super glossy either. And now we'll just do a quick look at the book itself. Let's go. That looks close to the middle so you can see the eye. So that's about where I was. And as you can see, it does pop out and it kind of stays like that throughout the entire book. Even as we get close to the beginning there. They did a pretty good job with that. And I'll just compare the first book because I felt like the first book, there's no eye whatsoever. And I did say I'd do that, so give me 1 second. So here's volume 1, and I'll just go to the middle. As you can see, not much of an eye. And it kind of wants it to close in on itself. But anyway, that's volume 1, just to give people a perspective if they have volume 1 and they were wondering about that. I tend to care about these things. Some people don't, but just in case you did, there you go. That is Batman No Man's Land, Volume 2. Thank you all for watching. You have been bearded in. Beardage.